Welcome to the introduction of Kanban. Kanban is a method for managing work, with the aim of improving efficiency and effectiveness. It focuses on visualizing the workflow, limiting work in progress, and continuously improving the process. This presentation will cover the principles and practices that will help you understand Kanban systems. Let's explore the origins of Kanban. Kanban was initially developed by Toyota in the late 1940s as part of the Toyota Production System, or TPS. The word Kanban itself means signboard, or billboard in Japanese. Kanban was created as a scheduling system for lean manufacturing, and it was later adapted to knowledge work by David Anderson in 2004. Looking at the timeline, in the 1940s, Toyota developed Kanban for manufacturing. By the 1970s, the Toyota Production System and Kanban gained recognition worldwide. In 2004, David Anderson applied Kanban to software development, and in 2010, the first Kanban-specific conference, Limited Work in Progress Society, was held. Today, Kanban is widely adopted across industries for workflow management. Now let's explore the core principles of Kanban. The first principle is to visualize the workflow. This involves creating a visual model of your work and workflow using cards and columns to make the invisible knowledge work visible. The second principle is to limit work in progress. This means setting explicit limits on how many items can be in progress at each workflow stage to optimize flow and identify bottlenecks. The third principle is to manage flow. This involves monitoring, measuring, and optimizing flow to create a smooth, predictable process that delivers value continuously with minimal delays. The fourth principle is to make policies explicit. This involves defining, publishing, and sharing clear process rules and guidelines to create a shared understanding of how work gets done. Let's discuss some more Kanban principles related to continuous improvement and evolutionary change. One principle is to establish feedback loops. This involves implementing regular cadences for reviewing work, metrics, and process performance to drive continuous improvement through feedback. Another principle is to improve collaboratively. This includes using scientific models and collaborative experimentation to evolve processes that deliver better outcomes for customers and the business. Evolutionary change is also a key principle. This involves making incremental, evolutionary changes to processes rather than radical transformations to reduce resistance and manage change effectively. Finally, it is important to respect the current process. This means starting with what you do now, understanding current roles, responsibilities, and processes before pursuing gradual improvement. Let's take a look at the structure of a Kanban board. A Kanban board visualizes workflow with columns representing process stages and cards representing work items. The board shown has columns for backlog, in progress, review, and done. Each column also has work in progress limits. The work in progress limits control the number of items in each stage to optimize flow. In the backlog column, there are cards for creating user documentation and fixing the login page bug. The in progress column has cards for implementing the search feature and refactoring authentication. The review column has a card for updating the payment gateway. Finally, the done column has cards for designing the new dashboard and setting up the continuous integration and continuous delivery pipeline. Now let's discuss key Kanban metrics for measuring and improving flow efficiency. First, we have lead time. Lead time is the total time it takes for a work item to move from the start of your process to completion. It measures end-to-end delivery time from the customer perspective. The formula for lead time is date completed minus date requested. Next, we have cycle time. Cycle time is the amount of time a work item spends in active development, from when work begins until it's completed. This measures team efficiency. The formula for cycle time is date completed minus date started. We also have throughput, which is the number of work items completed per unit of time, usually per day or week. This measures team delivery rate and capacity. The formula for throughput is items completed divided by time period. Finally, there's flow efficiency, which is the ratio of active work time to total lead time, showing the percentage of time items are actively worked on versus waiting. The formula for flow efficiency is work time divided by lead time, multiplied by 100%. Now let's compare Kanban and Scrum as Agile approaches. In Kanban, the cadence is a continuous flow with no required iterations or sprints, while in Scrum, there are fixed-length sprints typically 2 weeks long. Kanban uses continuous delivery releasing whenever ready, while Scrum releases at the end of each sprint if approved. In Kanban, there are no prescribed roles with existing roles maintained, while Scrum has roles for the product owner, Scrum Master, and development team. Key metrics in Kanban include lead time, cycle time, throughput, and work in progress, while Scrum uses velocity, burn-down charts, and sprint goals. The change philosophy in Kanban is evolutionary and incremental, while Scrum does not allow changes to the sprint backlog during a sprint. Kanban uses explicit policies to limit work in progress, while Scrum uses implicit policies through sprint planning. Kanban is best for support, maintenance, and projects with variable priorities, while Scrum is best for new product development and cross-functional teams. Let's discuss how to get started with Kanban in your team. Here are some implementation steps to follow. First, visualize your current workflow. Start with what you do now. Next, identify and map your process stages as columns. Then, establish work in progress limits for each process stage. Define explicit policies for how work moves through the system. Implement feedback loops, such as daily stand-ups and service delivery reviews. Finally, measure and analyze flow metrics to drive improvements. Here are some popular Kanban tools: Trello, which is a simple visual tool with cards and boards; Jira, which has advanced features for software teams; Microsoft Planner, which is integrated with the Microsoft 365 suite; Kanbanize, which is enterprise-grade with analytics; LeanKit, which is designed for scaled implementations, and even a physical board with sticky notes on a whiteboard. Here are some tips for success. Start small and evolve gradually. Focus on flow, not just individual productivity. Make policies explicit and visible to everyone, and use data to drive continuous improvement. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.